Today we'll start lesson number 5, accounting equation and business transaction. Now in this particular chapter, first we will see the introduction. The significant objective of financial accounting is to prepare financial statement. In accounts, trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet are included in the company form. Instead of trading account and profit and loss account, income statement is prepared. Now see what they have told you, that in the basic in the process we have seen steps of accounting, that first we are giving journal entry, then we are giving ledger posting, subsidiary books, then we are preparing trial balance, and at the end I have told you that we will be preparing final account. So trading account, P&L and balance sheet, this three is a part of final account. Clear? That you'll study in your part 2 of accounts in standard 11th only. This is included in the company form. Instead of trading account and profit and loss account, income statement is prepared. So instead of this trading account and P&L account, there is income statement which is prepared. At the end of the year, profit and loss will be closed and will be transferred to balance sheet. So at the end this will be done, that is either profit or loss will be found out and it will be transferred to balance sheet. A detailed explanation in this regard is undertaken in the subsequent chapter that we'll study later on. Generally at the end of the year, balance sheet is prepared. You have to remember that at the end of the year in each and every business what is prepared, so balance sheet is prepared. So at the end of the year, balance sheet is prepared. There are two important components of balance sheet, that is capital and liability. Second is asset. So which are the two important components of balance sheet? Suppose theoretical question is there. So the two important components of balance sheet are, that is capital and liability first, and then second is asset. Capital, you know. What do you mean by capital? The money which you are investing in the business is known as capital. What do you mean by liability? The money which you are supposed to pay to someone in future, that is known as your liability. Asset, it means land, building, machinery, the things, that is assets you have seen, current asset and non-current asset, which you can easily convert into cash whenever you need it. So balance sheet is a component of two things, that is first is capital and liability and the second is asset. The final effect of every business transaction goes to above mentioned two component of balance sheet. See, each and every business transaction, the effect of this business transaction will be going either in capital and liability or in asset. So again remember this line, that the final effect of every business transaction goes to above two components of balance sheet, that is capital, liability and asset. As per the norms of double entry system, the total of above mentioned two components remain identical. This also you understand very nicely, that whenever you are preparing balance sheet, see this is your balance sheet. In balance sheet, this is your liability side and this is your asset side, and in liability only we are recording capital. So here this total and this total is always identical. So the total of liability and asset in balance sheet is identical. It means it will be always same. So here they have told that as per the norms of double entry system, the total of above mentioned two components remain identical. Clear? So liability plus capital, the total will be same, and the asset, the total will be same. So these two will be always same. According to terminology of accounting, these two components are known as capital and liability side and asset side. So this is your liability and capital side and this is your asset side. This can be represented in the equation form as follow. See, this side, that is right hand side, only asset is there, whereas left hand side two items are coming in balance sheet, that is liability and capital. So what is the equation we are getting? That is asset is equals to capital plus liability. In brief we can write down, that is A is equals to C plus L. Clear? So remember this thing, that asset is equals to capital plus liability, and in brief asset A is equals to C plus L, and this is the actual balance sheet how it is prepared. That is, this is your balance sheet, liability, asset, and here it will be capital. See, this is just an example for you for the balance sheet. See, this is the balance sheet of these two partners. This side it is liability, you can see liability, and this side is all asset. See, the total is same, 3,20,000, 3,20,000. See here, liability, capital is there, and see creditor is what you are supposed to pay. In terminology we have studied, the person to whom you have to pay the money in future is known as creditor. When creditor is created, so when there is credit purchase. Whenever you are purchasing something from someone on credit, in future you are supposed to pay him, so this is your liability. So now I hope the concept is clear that balance sheet is a component of two things. First is liability and capital, that is coming this side, and asset, and the total is always same. You can see here 3,20,000 and 3,20,000. Clear? This is the sum from 12th standard, only for making you the understand the concept of this balance sheet and capital and liability. I have just explained you, I have shown you this example. Clear? So we will see further. This is an American method for presentation of accounting transaction. This is a modern approach. This asset is equals to capital plus liability. This is an American method of presentation of accounts, and it is a modern approach. Now see, what was under traditional approach? Rules of personal account, real account and nominal account are used under this traditional approach. On the basis of this rule, initially, that is first we are preparing the journal, and finally the final account is prepared, and at last balance sheet is prepared. In accounting equation, effect of transaction is directly given in the balance sheet. Now here in this particular chapter you are going to study that the effect of the transaction will directly go to balance sheet, whereas in traditional method, so understand that there is two method. One is modern method and one is traditional method. In modern method, what is done? So the effect of transaction, its effect directly goes to balance sheet. Here the transaction effect directly goes to balance sheet, and this is an American method. Whereas in traditional method, which is usually going in India, what you are doing, first transaction is coming, after transaction there is journal entry, after journal entry there is final account, and in final account lastly we will prepare, that is balance sheet. Whereas in this modern method, which is an American method of presenting accounting transaction, here directly the transaction effect goes to balance sheet. That is according to this concept, that is asset is equals to capital plus liability, that you will see in the sum. Clear? So this is modern method and this is traditional method. Now see further, we'll see accounting equation and transaction. In equation approach, effect transaction is directly given to asset and capital liability side. Prior to this, we have undertaken study of types of account and their rules, so that we have already studied. We have acquired acquaintance about how to write journal entry. Keeping the rules in mind, let us understand the equation method. At the time of execution of equation method can be understood easily if business transactions are classified as under. See, now it will be easy for you if you classify the transaction according to these two categories, that is transaction related to goods and revenue expenses related transactions. So see, transaction related to goods, so purchase, sales, purchase return, sales return, and goods going outside the business in any other form, so that is classified in a different form. Then second, revenue expense, that is rent received, commission received, dividend, that is revenue, income, and expenses are there, salary, wages, advertisement expenses, all these are your expenses. Third is, that is assets, purchase and sales transaction. And fourth, that is transactions related to borrowing of funds and lending of funds. It means you are taking loan or you are giving loan to someone. So these are the four concepts which you are supposed to study in this. Clear? There can be following effect on A is equals to C plus L of above mentioned transactions. See, increase and decrease in asset only, increase and decrease in asset and capital both, increase and decrease in asset and liability, increase and decrease in capital and liability. That we will study when you will do the sums. So this is the theoretical portion. So this equation method, okay, is a modern method, is an American method, and in India the same thing is done in step by step. That is, first transaction will come, then journal entry, then ledger posting, then final account, and at the last balance sheet. Whereas in this method, which is a modern method, American concept, here the transaction is done, and from transaction, journal entry, and directly the balance sheet effect is coming. That we'll see in the example. See, now in exercise there is only 5 MCQs are given and only one question is given in this particular chapter. That is question number 2 on page number 125. Clear? Now what is the question? Write journal entries for the following transaction and explain accounting treatment based on equation. So what is our equation? Our equation is, that is A is equals to C plus L. Clear? That is our equation. Now see, the transaction is given, total 19 transactions are there. Now what is the format to prepare this equation type of sums? So see, this is the format. You will use the page side by side only, because this is whole one sum. Serial number, journal entry, debit, credit the effect of that transaction, then your asset, that is A, is equals to capital plus liability. Fine. Now this total and the addition of both of this should be always same, that because we have learned that balance sheet is always having same total. So this is your asset side and this is your liability side, combination of both, that is C plus L. So this two and the total of this two and the total of assets should be always same. So you have to prepare this format for 4 pages because there is 19 transactions, so it will require 3 to 4 pages. Clear? Top, you will give the title, journal entry and accounting treatment based on equations. Now see what is the first transaction we will see, that is commenced business with capital of rupees 80,000. Commenced business means you are starting a business with the capital of rupees 80,000. So what will be our journal entry in this case? You have learned in the journal entries this type of transaction. So here cash you are bringing in the business, and when you are bringing the cash to start the business, it is coming the effect on capital. So what will be our journal entry? See here. So journal entry will be cash account debited to capital account. Clear? This will be the journal entry. Now what is the amount? Amount is rupees 80,000. So see here we will write down 80,000, and here also you will write down 80,000. Now we have to understand the effect of this. See, when you are bringing cash in business, what will happen? Cash will increase. So what you will write down here? Cash increases, and capital, as you are bringing capital in the business, so capital will also increase. So here the effect of this transaction is that cash will also increase and capital will also increase. Now you have to understand that where cash will go, it will go to asset, capital or liability, and capital itself is here, so we know that capital will come here only. Now see, cash is your asset, remember that cash is your asset, so cash is increasing. So here we can write down like this, that cash, it is of how much rupees? So we have seen it is 80,000. So here we will write down cash 80,000. Clear? And what is the second effect? That is capital. So capital is also increasing. So here in this case we can write down capital 80,000. See, here in no effect is coming in liability, so we will put dash. Now see, we will put total. So here what is the total? Double total, and here also double total. So here we are getting 80,000, here also we are getting 80,000, here we are getting nothing. So see what you will get, 80,000, and here 80,000 plus 0, so what you will get? 80,000. So see, your asset side and your liability side is same, so here the transaction gets over. Okay, as this transaction is getting over, so here we will put the line. Clear? This line you put with the help of pencil like this. Okay, so here the transaction gets over. Now we will see the second transaction. See, what is the second transaction entry? 20,000 deposited with bank and opened account. See, you are depositing cash in bank. You have learned the journal entry of this particular transaction in lesson number 4. That is, whenever you are depositing cash in the bank, bank is an artificial person, so bank becomes the receiver and cash is going from your side as you are depositing. So credit what goes out according to real account rule. So what will be the journal entry here for the second transaction? That is, second transaction you will write down, that is bank account debited to cash account. The amount is how much? So 20,000 and 20,000. Now what effect will be coming? See, you are depositing cash in bank, so in your bank account the balance will increase, and as you are depositing cash from you, cash is going, so your cash account will be reduced because the balance will be reduced from your cash. Okay, so in bank account the balance is increasing, whereas in cash account the cash balance is decreasing. So now see, you have to check where it will come. So bank is also asset and cash is also asset. So both the effect of this transaction will be going here only, that is on asset side. Now cash, the first item already you are having 80,000. See what we have written here, that is it is decreasing. So what you will do, cash is 80,000. From this 80,000 you will deduct, because you are depositing cash, okay, in bank. So 20,000 you will deduct. So now what you are getting, that is 60,000. You will write down like this. And again bank will also come here, this side only, okay. So in bank what you are depositing, so in bank you are depositing 20,000. Clear? So now what you are getting on this side, that is 80,000. Clear? This is as it is, you have to copy down, that is capital, how much it is there, so 80,000. So here again what will be the total, that is 80,000. Here nothing is there, so again the total will be dash. So see, now what you are getting, if you want to write down every transaction, you can write down here is equals to and plus sign. So see, the plus sign, addition of this two, 80,000 plus 0 is 80,000, and here 80,000. So again both the side it is coming same. This both the side you have to take it as a same only, because according to American approach, that is modern method, you are preparing balance sheet. This is one type of balance sheet you are preparing along with the transaction. Clear? So this is a modern approach. So here the transaction gets over. See, you have to maintain the lines because this whole is for second. Clear? Now we will move on to third. See, what is our third transaction? Goods of rupees 40,000 purchased from Himani on credit. See, now this is Himani and you are purchasing goods on credit. It is been mentioned. Goods you are purchasing, so purchase account debited to Himani account. This will be your transaction. You have learned how to pass on the entry. So here we will write down the transaction, that is purchase account debited to Himani account. Clear? This is your transaction. The amount is given how much to you, that is 40,000. So here 40,000 on debit side and 40,000 on credit side. See, now purchasing, you are purchasing goods, so you are having stock. In your business the stock is coming as you are purchasing the goods. So here what will happen, purchase effect will be going to stock. When you are purchasing, your stock will increase, okay. And you have purchased on credit. Whenever there is credit purchase, okay, this particular party will become what? So this particular party will become your creditor. Remember this. I have told you in the explanation of lesson number 1, terminologies in creditors and debtors. I have taught you this shortcut, that PC. So purchase is connected with creditor, and SD, that is sales, is connected with debtors. That's I have taught you that purchases are always connected to creditors and sales is always connected to debtors. So SD card, you will remember this relation. PC, personal computer, you will remember this. So this is just a hint for you to remember the relationship between, that is purchases are related to creditors, that is credit purchase is related to creditors, and credit sale is related to debtors. So here Himani is what for you? Himani is a creditor for you. Clear? So now here, because of purchase, what effect is coming? Stock will increase. And here what is there? Creditors. So here creditors is your liability, so liability will increase. Clear? Creditor is your one type of liability, so liability will increase in this. Now what will happen? So where stock will go? Stock will go to asset side. Clear? So you have to understand that stock is your balance. Whenever in future you want to sell this stock, you can sell and you can convert the goods into cash easily. So stock is your asset and liability will go to liability side. Clear? So here first two things we are already having. We are having cash, how much? So now you directly write down this, that is cash you are having 60,000. Then bank you are having 20,000. Now stock will come. So stock you are having of how much? 40,000. So your stock is of rupees 40,000. Your capital as it is, write down capital is that is 80,000. Then now we will be recording for creditors. Creditor is your liability. So here you can write down that is Himani and Himani is what? So Himani is your creditor. You can write down in bracket. So that is how much? That is again 40,000 is for creditors. So now when you will do the total, see what you are getting here. 60 plus 20, 80, 80 plus 4, that is 1,20,000. So here 1,20,000 you are getting. Same way here, what is 80,000 is the total, and here it is 40,000 is your total. Here is equals to sign and here plus. So see, 1,20,000 is equals to 80,000 plus 40,000. What you will get? 1,20,000. So your asset side and your liability, that is C plus L, is again same. Clear? So now here this transaction gets over. So here you will draw the line, and this you will carry forward same. So clear? So your this is your third transaction. So in exam also you will get same type of transactions. Clear? But here there are 19 transactions. There the number of transactions will be less in exam. Okay, but you have to do the same effect, same work you have to do for all this. Now we will move on to next transaction, that is transaction number 4. Goods of rupees 30,000 purchased for cash. Now see, this is you are purchasing, but you are purchasing for cash. So what effect will come? The entry will be purchase account debited to cash account, as this purchases are taking place. That is this type of transaction is a cash transaction. So here you will write down the journal entry. Your journal entry is that is purchase account debited to cash account. Clear? What is the amount they have written? The amount is that is 30,000. So here you will write down 30,000. Now see, you are purchasing goods, so your stock will increase. What effect will come? So stock increases, and then what is there? It is a cash transaction. This is your cash transaction. So when you are purchasing the goods, you are paying cash, so your cash will reduce. So your cash is reducing or decreasing. So now see the effect. Stock is also the effect will come on asset side, and the effect of cash will also come on asset side. So here for this, both the effects are coming in asset side only. It is not affecting capital or liability side. So see, cash is there. Cash is how much? 60,000. First we will write down here. Now this is reducing, decreasing. So here we will write down that you have purchased the goods. So for how much? So 30,000. So from here you will deduct 30. What is left out? So 30 is left out. Then bank, how much it is there? So in bank there is 20,000. And stock, see, now you have purchased the stock. Okay, so stock is what? You have purchased the goods, so stock is increasing. So stock is how much? 40,000. So first you will write down here stock is 40,000 plus you have purchased. So what, for how much you have purchased? 30,000. So now what you will get? 70,000. So now see what total you are getting? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So again 1,20,000 same. Why this is same? Because see, from here you have deducted 30 and here you have added 30. So you will get again the same total itself. Here nothing is coming, so no effect is coming. So as it is 80,000. Here also Himani is a creditor. So you will write down same amount, because not a single effect is coming on this side also. So here again 80,000 and here 40,000, here plus sign and here equals to. So see again 1,20,000, 80 plus 40 is again 1,20,000. Clear? So here your transaction gets over. See, though the lines you want to leave, you are leaving, never mind, but this whole should be of a same. Okay, here you are using lines, here you are not using lines, but then also use the line, just draw the lines. Okay, so now we will move on to the next transaction, that is our fifth transaction. We will see what is our fifth transaction. See, goods of 35,000 sold for rupees 55,000 to Jasleen on credit. See, on credit you are, that is so selling this particular goods. Clear? The selling price of this particular goods is that is 55,000, but the actual cost of the good is that is 35,000. So carefully you have to do this transaction, because there is that goods of 35,000 is sold at rupees 55,000. So there is profit also included in this particular transaction. How you will deal with the profit, that we'll see. First we will pass on the journal entry. So see, sold and to Jaslin, that is on credit. As it is on credit, so what will be your entry? Sales is coming always on credit side. So how you will pass the entry here? So Jaslin account debited to sales account. See, here you will not record this amount 35,000. You will record 55,000 only, because cash you are receiving of rupees 55,000. So here we will write down 55,000. Now see, this is credit transaction and it is sales. So sales is connected with whom? Debtor. So Jaslin is who for you? Jaslin is a debtor for you. Clear? So here you can remember that Jaslin is a debtor for you, because what is there? So there is credit sales. Clear? So now what effect will come here for Jaslin? So here see, three things are coming. Okay, two transactions are there, but here three things will come, because one is indirectly it is coming, that is the profit is also indulged in this particular transaction. So see, now three effects will be which? So see, here's you are that is Jaslin. Jaslin is a debtor, so debtor will increase. Debtor is what? So debtor is your asset. Clear? This will increase. This is for, we can write down that this is your debtor. Okay, so for debtor, according to debtor, asset will increase. Then sales is there, as you are selling the goods, so your stock will decrease. And what is indirectly there hidden? There is hidden, that is profit. Profit is of how much? So see, here in this particular transaction there is profit, that is 55,000 minus the goods were of rupees 35,000. So what is the difference coming? That is 20,000. So there is a profit of 20,000, and because of this profit what will happen? So capital will increase. See, whenever profit is there, so capital will increase. So for capital, what is there? Profit is there. So remember like this. Okay, debtor will increase your asset. Whenever sale is there, your stock will reduce, and profit will increase your capital. Same way, loss is there, so loss will decrease your capital. Clear? Because whatever you are earning in the business profit, you are going to reinvest in your business only. So whenever profit is there, your capital amount will increase. So now according to this, we have to give the transactions, that is the effects are to be given here. See, first of all, cash is there. Here there is no effect of cash. So cash, how much we are having? Final balance 30,000. We will write down as it is. Cash 30,000 is there. Now bank, again bank is also not coming here anywhere, so the same thing we will write down. Bank is how much? So 20,000 is for bank. Then stock is here, they have shown how much we have shown, that is 70,000. So stock 70,000 we will show here. Sales is there, so sales will be deducted. Clear? How much? So see, now here you will not deduct 55, because the book value of the goods was, that is 35,000. That is 35,000 goods you are selling at price 55,000. So actually stock is going off how much rupees from your business? So that is going off rupees 35,000. So here we will deduct 35,000 only. Clear? So when you are deducting 35,000, what you will get again? 35,000. Clear? And now what happens? So see, this stock sales is coming, still debtor's effect is to be given. So now debtor, so debtor is what? Who is debtor for you? So Jaslin. So you will write down Jaslin, and Jaslin is what? So Jaslin is your debtor. That is of how much rupees? So 55,000. See, because from Jaslin you have to take how much rupees? 55,000. Though the goods were of 35,000, but you have sold that goods at rupees 55,000. So from Jaslin we are supposed to take 55,000 rupees. So here this will be coming. Now next effect. So see, one effect we have given here, one effect we have given here, still one effect is remaining, that is profit. So that profit is coming into capital. So here we will write down capital, that is 80,000. Here you will add this profit, that is profit on sale of goods, that is how much? So that is, here it will be, the profit will be 20,000. So here what you will get? So 1 lakh you will get here. and here what is there, Himani as it is, because it is not affected here, no effect will come. So Himani you will write down as it is, that is creditors, that is 40,000. So see the total of all these three when you will do. So this side it is 40 plus this side it is 1 lakh. Here we will put is equals to sign and the total of all these three. So see what you will get the total. So that is 30,000 plus 20,000 plus 35,000 plus 55,000. So that is coming to 1 lakh 40. So now see, we can see now that this 1 lakh 40 and this 1 lakh plus 40,000. So this both is same. So again your balance sheet is tallied here. So here the transaction gets over. Clear? So same way you will draw the line till here. Okay, so this was your fifth transaction. Now see transaction number 6. Goods of 10,000 rupees sold for rupees 18,000 in cash. So see again here sales is taking place, but there is profit because the goods are costing of rupees 10,000 but it is sold in the market for rupees 18,000. So there that is it is sold for 18,000. So there is a profit of rupees 8,000 and this sales is a cash transaction. Clear? So here now how the entry you will pass. So first of all, sales account is always credited and you are receiving cash. Clear? So here the entry will be like this, that is sixth cash account debited to sales account. Clear? This is the entry, that is cash account debited to sales account, and the amount is how much? So that is 18,000 and here also 18,000. Now see, as it is sales and cash is coming in the business, so cash will, what effect will come? So cash will increase. Then sales, whenever sales is there, so in sales what will happen? So stock, that is stock decreases. So according to sales the stock is decreasing, but it will decrease by how much amount? So it will decrease by only 10,000 because sales is taking place, that is the goods, actual goods are costing of rupees 10,000. Now what is there? There is profit. So according to profit what will happen? So capital will increase. What is the effect of profit? Profit effect is coming on capital. So here the capital will increase according to profit. Clear? So this effect will come. Now we will see how we will do the things. First of all, cash is here. Cash is how much? 30,000. So cash, as there is affected cash, so we will write down here only 30,000. Now what is happening? Cash is increasing. It is increasing by 18,000. So plus sale, that is 18,000. So what do you get? You get 48,000. Then stock, so not stock, but after that there is bank here. So bank, that is 20,000. We will go in sequence. Now there is stock and there is effect of stock. So right now stock is 35,000. We are selling, so again minus sell, but sell is taking place of only 10,000. So here from this you will deduct only 10,000. So the left out amount is 25,000 rupees stock is remaining, and then the effect is coming to, that is capital. So now first we will write down here capital. Okay, the capital is how much? That is 1 lakh. So here we will write down 1 lakh in inner column like that nearby, and then we will add plus profit on sale of goods. That is how much profit was there? So 10,000 goods we sold at 18,000 rupees, so there is 8,000 profit. So what you are getting? 1,08,000. Clear? This amount you are getting. Now here what is there? Himani is as it is as a creditor. So that is 40,000. And here I forgot, after stock what was there? Jasleen was there. So here we have to write down Jasleen,
that is debtor, that is 55,000. now we will add up. First of all, here we are having as it is 40,000, here we are having 1,08,000, and here when you add, so now we will do the addition, that is 48,000 plus 20,000 plus 25,000 plus 55,000, that is coming to 1,48,000. so see, here we will write down 1,48,000. here is equals to sign and here plus sign. So see, 1,08,000 plus 40,000, we will get 1,48,000, and this side is also 1,48,000. so here it is balance sheet is telling, it is tallied this type of. so here we will put the line. so till here we have seen the transaction number 6. now we will see the transaction number 7. see, what is the transaction? Goods of 2,000 returned to Himani. Okay, so goods of rupees 2,000 we are returning to Himani. so we will go back in the transaction of Himani, which is here. See, third number transaction. Okay, what had taken place? Purchase is taking place. now here the goods are returned back. so what you will do, you will just do the opposite of this transaction I have taught you. so what will be the now transaction? that is Himani is credited, so Himani will be debited, and here purchase is debited. so there will be purchase return on opposite side, that is credit side. so the entry will be like this, that is Himani account debited to purchase account. so we will write down, see, that is Himani account debited to purchase return account. and what is the amount for this transaction? so that is she is returning back 2,000. so here we will write down 2,000 and 2,000. clear? now what was Himani for us? see, we have seen that Himani was a creditor. so here you can write down in bracket for your consideration that Himani is what? Creditor. clear? now what effect will come? so see, as we are returning back, so here the stock will, that is the stock will decrease. okay, because we are returning back, purchase return, we have taken the stock and now we are returning back. same way Himani is our creditor, now we are returning back. previously we were supposed to give Himani how much rupees? 40,000 rupees we were supposed to give her. now Himani, what will happen here? creditor will also, that is creditor will reduce, because previously we were supposed to give him 40,000, now 2,000 we are returning back. so now how much we are supposed to give her? that is only 38,000. so your stock will, the creditor will also reduce. now see, what will happen on asset side? we will see that first what is there. so there is cash of rupees 48,000 and bank of rupees 20,000. so this we will write down. so cash 48,000, then bank rupees 20,000. cash is 48, bank is 20. so see, cash is 48 and bank is 20. now stock is how much? 25. so stock we will write down, and there is effect of stock is reducing. so here write down stock 25,000 minus we are returning back, so purchase return, that is 2,000. so what you will get? you will get stock of rupees 23,000. clear? then what is there after stock? so Jasleen is there. Jasleen is a debtor, 55,000. so here we will write down, that is Jasleen debtor 55,000. clear? this we will write down. then see, what is there? so capital is 1,08,000. so this we will write down as it is, that is capital 1,08,000. and then what was on liability side here? so liability side, Himani creditor was there, 40,000. so here we will write down, that is Himani and she is a creditor, so 40,000 it was. now here there is creditors are reducing because there is purchase return. So what you will do, minus purchase return, that is 2000. So what you will get here, 38,000. So here now we will do the total, 38,000, then 1,08,000 here plus, and here is equals to, and now here we will do the total what you are getting. C. So 48,000 plus 20,000 plus 23,000 and plus 55,000, that is 1,46,000. So here we'll write down 1,46,000. Clear? And now here what is there, 1,08,000 plus 38,000. So see, we will do, that is 1,08,000 plus 38,000. So what you are getting, 1,46,000. So when you add this two, you are getting 1,46,000, and here also 1,46,000 you are getting. So again it is tallied, that is assets and liability is tallied. So here this transaction gets over. Now we will move on to next transaction. What is our next transaction? That is C. Goods of 4,000 returned by Jasleen. Now goods of 4,000 Jasleen is returning back to us. Clear? So now again we will go to Jasleen. What is the amount of what was the entry of Jasleen? That is Jasleen to sales. Now this is your sales return. So what will be your entry? Exact opposite in return you are doing. So here there is sales on credit side. So sales will go to debit side, and Jasleen is on debit. So she will come on credit side. So the entry will be, that is sales return account debited to Jasleen account. So we will write down the entry here. That is entry number 8. Clear? So sales return account debited to Jasleen account. Clear? See, exact opposite we have done here, Jasleen to sales. So here sales return to Jasleen, and Jasleen is debtor. In bracket we can write down that she is a debtor. What was the amount of goods we have returned back? So here 4,000 goods we have returned back to Jasleen. So here we will write down 4,000. Now what will happen? See, it is sales return, so goods will come back to us. So as goods are coming back to us, our stock will increase. So here stock will increase, and Jasleen is a debtor. Previously we were supposed to take which amount from her? 55,000. Now she won't pay us 55,000, but she will pay us, that is only 4,000. So our debtor will also reduce. That is, debtor will be reduced. Now effect of this we will give here. So see, first cash, there is no effect. So write down cash as it is. That is cash is 48,000. Then bank also no effect is coming. So in bank also we will write down 20,000 as it is. Then stock effect is there. So stock there is 23,000 as it is a sales return. So already we have sold and now it is coming back to us. So here there will be addition. So sales return. So there will be 4,000. So here what you will write down? That is 27,000 we will write down. Then debtors. So Jasleen is there here. So Jasleen, that is, she is a debtor. So previously what was the amount? 55,000 was for Jasleen. Now see, 4,000 is goods return. So now she won't pay us 55 full amount because there is sales return. So there will be reduction in this amount. So minus 4,000. So what you get? That is 51,000. Clear? This would be the effect. Now here capital, there is no entry. So write down as it is capital, that is 1,08,000. Again here Himani, there is no effect. So Himani creditor, write down as it is, that is 38,000. Now when you do the total, here nothing is there. So 38,000 as it is, plus sign, here 1,08,000 as it is, and when you do the total here for asset side, so see what you are getting, 48,000 plus 20,000 plus 27,000 plus 51,000, that is equals to 1,40,000. 6,000. So previously also we have seen that the total of 1,08,000 and 38,000 is coming to 1,46,000. So here the transaction get over. Clear? Now see the transaction number 9. Accounts are settled with Himani and Jasleen. So here accounts are settled with Himani and Jasleen. So Himani we have seen, Himani was a creditor and Jasleen was a debtor. Now when accounts are being settled, here see there will be two journal entries. Fine. So first see for Himani we will see. Himani, when we have purchased on credit from her, she was what? On credit side. So now when you are settling her account and you are paying, see nothing is mentioned, it means you have paid her cash. So now when you are paying her cash, so here Himani is on credit side, so now it will she will go to debit side. So how the entry will come, see 9th. So Himani was on credit side, so now Himani will come on debit side. So Himani account debited to, you are settling the account, so you are paying cash, so to cash account. See how much we were supposed to pay to Himani. First previously there was 40,000 and then there was a purchase return. So now after deducting purchase return there is 38,000 you are supposed to pay to Himani. So here there will be 38,000 and here also 38,000. Clear? This is your first effect. So in 9th transaction there are two types of transaction, that is Himani and Jasleen. Now we will see about Jasleen. So see Jasleen is here. Jasleen account debited to sales. So we were supposed to give her 55,000 but there was sales return of 4,000. So now how much you are supposed to pay her? So you will receive from her, so that is 51,000 you will receive from her, because Jasleen is a debtor, there is credit sale. So when you are selling something you receive the money, so here you are going to receive. So Jasleen is here on debit side, so now she will go to credit side. So to Jasleen account and here cash account debited, that is 51,000 and 51,000. See if you see on asset side Jasleen how much is as a debtor, 51,000. So see Jasleen is giving your money and we are receiving. So now we will see the effects of this transaction, that is Himani. As we have paid this creditor, so it will reduce. So here Himani account will be reduced. Cash we are paying to Himani, so cash will also reduced. Here we are receiving cash, so cash will increase. And here Jasleen account is settled, so Jasleen account will be reduced by this amount. So now we will see here the effects. Cash, right now we have cash of 48,000. Now we are paying cash to Himani first, so 38,000. So minus paid to Himani, that is 38,000. And then see we are receiving cash from Jasleen, so that we will add. So plus received from Jasleen, that is how much we are receiving, 51,000. So total what will be the amount for cash? C, that is 48,000 minus 38,000 plus 51,000. So what amount you are getting? You are getting 61,000. Clear? Now then bank, so there is no effect in bank, so we will write down bank account as it is, that is 20,000. Then stock, there is no effect on stock also, so we will write down as it is stock, that is 27,000. Now Jasleen, see as we have paid, so now no need to write down Jasleen, okay, leave it. Or if you want to show, then you can say that Jasleen 51,000. So we have received, sorry, not paid, but we have received. So now amount is received from here, so there will be dash here. Now here capital, that is 1,08,000 as it is. Himani, she was creditor, so 38,000. And now we have paid to this creditor, so paid, so 38,000. So there is nothing, so here also dash. So now see what will be happening here. Here nothing, so dash. Here 1,08,000 and here if we see the total, so what we are getting, see 61,000 is there on the screen, plus 20,000 and plus 27,000, so 1,08,000. So 1,08,000. So see, here also 1,08,000, here also 1,08,000, 1,08,000 plus 0, nothing is there. So here what you will get, so again same, you are getting the total on both the side.
Now see transaction number 10, withdraw 5,000 from bank. So what will be the journal entry for this? You are withdrawing cash. So cash is coming and bank is giving you the money. So bank will be, that is bank will be giver. So here what will be the journal entry? C, that is 10th. As cash you are receiving, the cash account debited and bank is the giver. So to bank account, the amount is mentioned, they have how much, so that is the amount mentioned is 5,000. So here we will write down 5,000 on both the side, 5,000, and here also 5,000. So see, as you are receiving cash, amount is withdrawn from bank, so cash is received, so cash will increase. And here who is paying you the amount? So bank. So from bank the amount will be reduced, so in bank the amount will be reduced. So now here we will see the effect, that is cash, there is how much, 61,000, cash will increase because amount is withdrawn. So how much amount is withdrawn? 5,000. So now total amount is how much? So 66,000. Then bank is how much? 20,000. Now amount is given from bank, okay, so amount withdrawn, that is how much? So 5,000. So now in bank how much amount is there? 15,000. Then stock 27,000, and now Jaslin is no more as a debtor, as here it is dash, so no need to write down. Now here capital is 1,08,000. Here Himani is also paid, so here nothing is there. So now again we will do the total. So that is, here it will be dash, here it will be 1,08,000, and here we will do the total, that is 66,000 plus 15,000 plus 27,000. See, 16, 15 and 27. What you are getting? 1,08,000. So here 1,08,000. So now again here 1,08,000, which is equals to, and here plus, so 1,08,000 plus 0 is, you are getting 1,08,000. So again here the total is same on both the side. Here we'll close the transaction, and now we will see the next transaction, that is transaction number 11. See, what is the transaction? Salary of 4,000 paid by check. So here you are paying the salary. Salary is an expense for you. So as salary is an expense for you, first of all, what will be the entry according to nominal account rule? That is salary account debited, and you are paying by check, so to bank account. So here we will write down the entry, that is number 11. So salary account debited to, it is paid by check, so to bank account. What is the amount of salary given to you? That is 4,000. So here see, 4,000 and 4,000. So what will be the effect? See, salary you are paying, whenever there is expense your capital will reduce, remember that, okay. In case of expenses and losses, capital will reduce, capital will decrease, and in case of income and gain or profit, your capital will increase. So this you have to deduct from capital, and this you have to add into capital. So remember that thing, clear? So now what effect will come? Salary is an expense, so capital will decrease, and as you are paying this salary from bank, so your bank account will also decrease, clear? This effect will come. So now first see, again we will go to asset side. What you have written? Cash is 66,000, so that we will write down, that is here cash because no effect is coming. So cash 66,000. Then bank, see there is effect in bank. Bank is reducing, so what you have written in bank, bank is how much? 15,000. so here 15,000 you will write down this side, and it is reduced by 4,000 as salary paid. Clear? So 4,000, so what you will get, that is 11,000. Then what will be there next after bank? What is there? So stock. So stock is of 27, write down as it is. Stock, that is 27,000. Clear? So now this is there. Now nothing is there on asset side. Clear? Now capital, here only one item is there, that is 1,08,000. Here liability, nothing is there. So first capital also effect is coming. So first we will write down capital 1,08,000. Now as salary paid, so you will deduct from this. So salary paid is 4,000. So what do you get? That is 1,04,000. Here no effect will come. Now we will do the total. See, so here there is nothing, plus sign. Here there is 1,04,000, and here we will see what you are getting the total. So see what is there, 66,000 plus 11,000 plus 27,000. So what you are getting, 1,04,000. So here 1,04,000. Clear? So now 1,04,000, and this side the addition of this two is also 1,04,000. So your balance sheet is tallying. Okay, this is a part of your balance sheet according to modern method that we have seen in the theory. Clear? So now we will move on to next transaction, that is transaction number 12. So now we will see the transaction number 12. What is that? Commission received in cash and 2,500 are outstanding. Again, see here there are two transactions for you. Commission received, that is first transaction, and then commission outstanding. Now this is a part of commission received. So this is what? This is your outstanding income. Clear? This is your outstanding commission, and this will be income for you. Clear? So in future this is to be an income for you. Clear? Now how you will pass the entry? C. First of all, what they have mentioned, commission received in cash. We will pass on entry for only that is 3,000. So see, that is transaction number 12. In this we have two transactions. First was commission received in cash, that is rupees 3,000. How you will write down? Commission is in income, so income will be credited according to nominal account rule. And then what they have given, that is you are receiving in cash, so cash is coming in the business. So according to real account rule, debit what comes in. So cash account debited to commission account. Clear? This will be the entry. What is the amount? So 3,000, here 3,000, here also 3,000. First we will pass both the entry, then we will see all together the effects. Clear? Now see what is given next, that is commission outstanding. So again see, commission is what? It is income. Clear? That is 2,500, and this income is still outstanding, yet you have not received. So first of all, what you will write down on credit side, the commission is income. So here to commission account. Now see, in place of cash, as you have not received cash, this amount is outstanding. So what you will write down here, that is outstanding commission account debited. Clear? As you are not receiving cash, so what you have to write down? You have to write down outstanding commission account debited. That is how much? So 2,500, and here also 2,500. Clear? This would be the entry. Okay, now see what is the effect you will come. You have received cash, so your cash will increase. Now commission is your income, so capital will increase. Outstanding commission which you are going to receive in future, yet you have not received it, so you are going to receive in future. So your asset is increasing here. Directly on asset side we will put this amount, outstanding commission, and here again commission is income, so capital will increase. Clear? So this effect will come for this particular transaction. Now we will see the effect on asset and liability side. So see, first cash is increasing, so write down here cash, that is 66,000. This is for this, so 3,000. So plus commission received, that is 3,000. So what you will get, 66 9,000. Then next is bank. There is no effect on bank, so here write down bank as it is, that is bank is 11,000. Then stock, there is no effect in stock, see, so here stock also write down as it is 27,000. Cash is over, capital we will do now. Asset, so here outstanding, asset side directly you will write down, that is outstanding commission. So outstanding commission, that is 2,500. Clear? This will be the effect. Now what you will do on capital side, go, that is 1,04,000. Clear? Plus first you have to do commission received. Okay, so first commission received we will write down, that is how much, so 3,000. And then again capital is increasing for outstanding commission that you will receive in future, so outstanding commission, that is 2,500. Clear? So what in total you will get, see, 1,04,000, sorry, 1,04,000 plus what is there, 3,000 plus 2,500. So what you are getting in total, that is 1,09,500. Here nothing is there, so put dash. So here again we will do the total, nothing, then plus here 1,09,500, and here we will see what you are getting. So see, first there is 69,000 plus 11,000 plus 27,000 plus 2,500. What you are getting, 1,09,500. So here you write down 1,09,500, that is equals to. So see, the addition of this two, again you are getting same 1,09,500, 1,09,500. So here this transaction is over. So in this particular entry we have given the effect for two type of transaction. One was received in cash income, and one was, that is outstanding income, which you are going to receive in future. Now we will move on to next transaction, that is C, transaction number 13. Again see, same type of transaction is there, but this is expense. Rent paid in cash 4,000 and 1,500 are outstanding. So here same effect will be given, but that was for, previous one was for income and this one is for expense. So again there will be two effects. C 13. First what they have given, the rent paid in cash. It is paid in cash and rent is expense. So according to nominal account rule, what you have to do, that is debit all expenses and losses. So see, here we will write down rent account debited, cash is paid. So to cash account, what is the amount? So amount is for that 4,000 rent paid. See, rent paid 4,000. Clear? So here you will write down 4,000 and 4,000. First we will write down both the entries, then we will see the effect. Second is what they have mentioned, it is outstanding, that is 1,500 are outstanding. Okay, so now again rent is your expense. So first write down the name of the expense, rent account debited. Now see, cash is not received, so what you will write down, to outstanding rent account. Clear? Like this you will write down, and the amount is 1,500. Here also 1,500. Now we will see the effect of each one. Rent is an expense. I have told you, whenever expenses are there or losses are there, okay, that is capital account will be reduced, that is you will deduct the amount from capital account. So see, your rent is an expense, so capital it will decrease. Then cash you have paid, as this is an expense, so cash will also here decrease. Again rent is an expense, so capital will decrease. And outstanding rent, see, you are supposed to pay this amount in future, so this is right now your liability. Clear? So your liability will increase. Clear? You will show it on liability side. So now we will see the effect. See, first effect is in capital account. So see, here capital is what, that is 1,09,500. So 1,09,500. Here it is decreasing. So first was for rent paid, that is how much, sorry, it is decreased, so here you will put minus sign. Clear? So here what is there, 4,000, and you will do minus sign. Then next is cash. Cash is also reduced, so here
cash you'll write down in inner column 69,000, and it is reduced, so rent paid, that is 4,000. So what you'll get, that is 65,000. Then again capital is there, so capital, that is again here what you'll do, it is outstanding rent, it is expense, so outstanding rent is 1500, again it is reducing. And then liability is there, so liability side simply you'll write down outstanding rent, that is 1500. Clear? Now this is over, this is also over. Here cash, whatever the remaining items, so bank, as it is, write down bank 11,000, then stock 27,000, outstanding commission, as it is, write down, that is 2500. Clear? So this will be your things you'd have to record like this. So now here what you are getting, 1500. And here see on capital side what we'll get, so here 1,09,500, sorry, 1,09,500 minus we have to rent paid, that is 4,000, minus that is 1,500. So what do we get? We get 1,04,000. So here we will write down 1,04,000. Clear? This we will get. And here what you will get? So see, on asset side 65,000 plus 11,000 plus 27,000 plus 2,500. So that is 1,55,000. So see here also addition of 1,04,000 and 1,500, you will get same 1,55,000. So here also we will see the total is coming, that is 1,55,000 plus addition of this two. So both the side we are getting same. So here this is over. Now we will move on to next transaction, that is transaction number 14. We will see the transaction what it is. Goods donated. See, we are donating the goods. When you are donating the goods, you are doing charity, and this is your expense. So charity account debited, and goods are going by any means rather than purchase and sale. So we are what doing? So we are crediting the purchase account. So here the transaction journal entry will be first, that is charity account debited to, that is purchase account, and the amount is, that is 2,000, and here also 2,000. Clear? Now what effect will give? See, charity is one type of expense. Clear? So here capital will reduce in case of expense, we have seen that. And purchase, stock is from stock, the goods are going. So from stock also what you will do, you will reduce the stock. So now what effect will come here? See, cash is how much? 65,000. Then after cash what is there? Bank. So in bank what is there? 11,000. Then now stock will come effect. So stock we will write down little bit this side, and here stock is reducing as what you are doing, goods given in goods donated. We can write down this goods donated, that is of rupees 2,000. So here what you will get? 25,000, and here outstanding commission as it is we will write down, that is 2,500. Clear? Now on capital side what you will do, what is the amount of capital? So here the amount of capital is 1,04,000. Here we have not written, so we will write down 1,04,000. So here we will directly write down 1,04,000. Clear? Here outstanding rent as it is, that is 1,500, and here I forgot to do 1,04,000. So after this we will deduct when, that is how much you have to deduct. So you have paid the, that is charities and expense. So here you will write down as charity expense, that is 2,000. So here what you will get? 1,02,000 is left out. So now when you will do the total, so what you will get here? See, here we will get 1,500. Here we will get 1,02,000, and here what you will get? See, so we will do the calculation, that is 65,000 plus 11,000
plus 25,000 and plus 2,500. What you are getting, that is 1,03,500. And now see the addition of this 1,02,000 plus 1,500. So you will get this only 1,03,500. So here is equals to sign and here plus sign. Same way here also we forgot is equals to sign and plus sign. So here it is tallied. So close this. Same way here. Clear? So here this is over. Fine. Now we will move on to our next transaction. Our next transaction is what? So that is C. What they have told. So here they have mentioned in the next transaction, that is furniture of 15,000 rupees purchased from Preksha Furniture Mart. See, you are purchasing furniture, but here they have not mentioned that cash is paid. Yes, shop name is there and nothing is mentioned, so we will understand that it is a credit transaction. So what will be the journal entry? Furniture account debited. In place of furniture purchase, we will write down furniture, because this is asset you are purchasing. And you have learned, whenever you are purchasing an asset, do not write down the word purchase, but you will write down the name of that particular asset. So what will be the journal entry for the 15th transaction C? That is furniture account debited to. Here, as this is a credit transaction, so we will write down the name of the shop, Preksha Furniture Mart account. The furniture cost rupees, it is 15,000. So here 15,000 and here 15,000. Now what effect will come? See, furniture is an asset, so here asset will increase. And Preksha Furniture Mart, this is one type of credit purchase. So whenever credit purchase is there, who is created? Creditor is created. So this Preksha Furniture Mart will become a creditor for you. Clear? So here you will write down that creditor. So in that case, what is there? Liability will increase. Clear? In case of creditor. So now what effect we will get here? So cash, there is no effect coming. So cash we will write down as it is 65,000. Bank also no effect. So bank also we will write down as it is 11,000. Stock also no effect. So stock 25,000. Outstanding commission as it is, that we will write down. So that is how much? That is 2,500. Now what is there? Asset increases. So we will write down furniture we have purchased. So here furniture cost of rupees 15,000. Here capital side nothing is coming. So capital directly we will write down. Capital is of how much? 1,02,000. On liability side there is outstanding rent, that is 1,500, and plus new creditor will come. So that is Preksha Furniture Mart, that is 15,000. So this is your creditor. Fine. This we will mention that Preksha is our creditor, like this. Okay. Now we will do the total. So 15,000 plus 1,500, 16,500. Here this side it is nothing is coming. So 1,02,000, and then here we will see the total, that is C, 65,000 plus 11,000 plus 25,000 plus 2,500 plus 15,000. So what you are getting? 1,18,500. So see, 1,18,500. When you will do the total of this two, so see what you get, that is, see, 16,500 plus 1,02,000. That is coming to 1,18,500. So here also you are getting 1,18,500. So that is your, both the addition of this is equals to this. It means your both the sides are same. So here this transaction gets over. We'll see the next transaction. Use a scale if you want to use for this. Okay. And then now moving to next transaction. What is your next transaction? College fees of daughter paid rupees 6,000. Now see, what is the college fees? College fees is that is you are paying from your business, the college fees of the daughter. Okay, so here college fees is taken as drawing because you are this is your personal expense. So as this is your personal expense, drawing account is affected and you are paying, so cash is going. So what will be the transaction for this entry? That is 16th. We'll do here, that is 16th, drawings account debited to, that is here we will write down to cash account. Clear? So drawings account debited to cash account is the entry. The amount you will write down 6,000 and here also 6,000. So now what effect will come? See, drawings, whenever it is there, it is always deducted from capital. Remember, drawing is deducted from capital. Okay, so drawing deducted from capital, you have to remember this. So your capital account will decrease or reduce, and as you are paying cash, you are paying the that is daughter's fees, so cash will also reduce. So your cash will also reduce. Now we will see on asset side what was there. So on asset side, asset is in cash 65,000. So here we will write down cash 65,000 minus, that is college fees paid. Clear? So how much was the fees? That is 6,000. So 65,000 minus 6,000, what you will get? So 59,000 you will get. Then next is what? After that, bank 11,000 and stock 25,000. So here no effect will come. So bank 11,000, stock 25,000. So bank 11,000, stock it was 25,000. Clear? Stock 25,000. So here we will write down stock 25,000. After stock, what is there? Outstanding commission 2,500 and furniture 15,000. So outstanding commission 2,500 and furniture is of rupees 15,000. So this is your asset side. Now what about capital is there? So capital 1,02,000 is there. So here we will write down, that is capital 1,02,000. And see, now effect is coming into capital because drawing is coming here, drawing account is affected. So minus drawings, you can write down college fees of daughter. So that is 6,000. Clear? Now what is on liability side here? Liability side, outstanding rent 1,500. So outstanding rent 1,500 and Preksha Furniture Mart was there, that is creditor is there, that is of rupees 15,000. Now we will do the addition of all this, what you are getting here. So see, 1,500 plus 15,000, what you will get? So 1,500 plus 15,000, that is 16,500 this side. Then your capital is 1,02,000 and drawing you have to deduct, so minus 6,000, what you are getting? That is 96,000. So here 96,000 plus and here equal to sign. Now we will see what you are getting here. So 59,000 plus 11,000 plus 25,000 plus 2,500 plus 15,000, what do you get? So 1,12,500. and now see the addition of both of this, that is 96,000 plus 16,500, what you are getting? 1,12,500. so this is same 1,12,500 to that amount. So here your both the sides are tallied here. Clear? Same way here you will draw the line. Clear? Now we will move on to next transaction, that is transaction number 17. What they have given, see, 500 rupees bank has credited for interest and debited 200 for bank charges. Again here see, there are two transactions which we have to give simultaneously. Fine. So first we will write down the transaction only for first one. So first transaction, what is there? What they have written, bank has credited. What shortcut I have taught you? See, bank has credited means interest is your income. Whenever they have written credited, so what you will do? You will debit the bank. Remember that much. Clear? Bank has credited. So here in your answer you will debit the bank. So bank account debited. Now interest has become your income, so according to nominal account rule, interest will be credited, so to interest account. This is your transaction. What is the amount for this? So that is, see, we can see here it is 500. So here we will do 500 and 500. Effect we will see afterward. Now we will give the second transaction. What they have given, see now, debited rupees 200 for bank charges. Now here they have given the debited, so what you will do, you will credit the bank and bank charges will be debited. Okay, as I have told you, your bank is credit, so here in answer you will debit the bank. Here they have told debited, so here you will credit the bank. So here two bank account will be credited, and what will come on debit side? So it is bank charges. So charges, according to that, expenses are, that is account debited. Bank charges are one type of expense, so that will be debited. Clear? And the amount for this is, that is 200, and here also 200. Now we will see here this is income, so here bank will increase, and it is income, so capital will also increase. Your bank charges are expenses, so capital will decrease. You have learned this, that income increase your capital and expenses decrease your capital. Here you are paying, so it is deducted from your account, so your bank account will decrease. So this effect will come. Now we will see what you are getting here. So see, cash we will write down as it is, as there is no effect in cash. So cash 59,000. Then bank, see, effect is there, so bank 11,000 we will write down here. Now first what is there, it will increase, so plus interest is there, that is 500, and then it is decreasing. See, your bank is there and decreasing, so your bank charges are there, so we will minus bank charges, that is how much, 200 rupees. So what you are getting, see, 11,000 plus 500, that will be 11,500, and deduct 200, so 11,300 we are getting. So here 11,300. Then after that, stock write down as it is because it is not affected, so 25,000. Then outstanding, it was outstanding commission, we have seen that. Okay, here I have written only outstanding, here it is outstanding commission, so we will write down here outstanding commission. So here also outstanding commission, that is 2,500. Furniture also as it is, that is 15,000. Now we will see capital what it is, that is 96,000. Clear? So now 96,000, it is here. What you are getting here, see, capital, it is what, how much it is increasing. So first, that is, so bank, here it is interest, so see, capital is increasing here, so here bank interest, so this will increase 500. And then there are bank charges, it is expense, so it will reduce here, that is 200. So what you'll get 96,300 here. And here what is there, outstanding rent is there, that is 1,500. Preksha furniture mart, that is 15,000. And then what is this, this is your creditor, you can mention it. So now what you'll get at the end, see, after doing this, okay, here there is equals to, and here there is plus sign. So what you are getting, you should get that this two, the addition of this two should be same to this. So we will see here 15,000 plus 1,500, that is 16,500. Here you are getting, that is 96,300. So here what you are getting, see, this side it is 59,000 first, plus 11,300, plus 25,000, plus 2,500, plus 15,000. So what you are getting, 1,12,800. So 1,12,800. Now we will do the addition of both of this. So that is, see, 96,300 plus 16,500. Sorry, 96,300 plus 16,500. What you are getting, that is 1,12,800. 1,12,800. So the addition of this two, you are getting this. So here this is correct. So we will put the line
Here this transaction gets over. We will move on to next transaction, that is transaction number 18. See what is the transaction number 18 here. They have given that 2500 received in advance for interest. So see now what they have told you here, that you are receiving cash, that is in advance you are receiving cash. So first of all, cash is coming in the business. What will be your journal entry? That is cash account debited. Now for what purpose you have received this interest? So that is, it is known as received in advance, is known as pre-received. Fine. So here how your entry will be, that is cash account debited to, that is pre-received interest account. Fine. What is the amount they have given? That is 2500, and here also 2500. What effect will here come? See, cash is coming in the business, so here cash will increase, and this is of not this year, but this is of the next year which you have received in advance. So here your liability will increase, because right now this is considered as this is of not this year. Clear? So pre-received is your liability, because you have received, but you'll assume that you are giving back. So as you are giving back, you are assuming this, so this will be your liability. Now what effect will come here? So see, cash comes in, so cash will increase. So here cash is how much? 59,000 plus you have received interest, so that is pre-received interest, that is 2500. So what you are getting here? So see, 0 0 5 9 10 11, 1 carry and 1, that is 6, 61,500. Next, bank. So bank, there is no effect, you will write down 11,300. So here 11,300. Then stock, as it is, you will write down 25,000. Outstanding commission, as it is, you will write down 2500. And furniture it is, that is 15,000. Clear? And this side what you will do? Capital is how much? So that is 96,300 you are getting as a capital. And here this is your liability. First your liability, it was outstanding rent, that is 1500. Then Preksha Furniture Mart, that is 15,000, that is here it is creditors. And then here again will be, that is your liability is increasing as pre-received interest. So here pre-received interest, that is 2,500. So here now we will do the total. What total you are getting here? So see, 1500 plus 15,000 plus 2,500. So what you are getting? You are getting, that is 19,000. Then here it is 96,300. And here what you are getting? So it is C, 61,500 plus 11,300 plus 25,000 plus 2,500 plus it is 15,000. So how much you are getting? That is 1,15,300. So now we will add this to see what you are getting again now. 96,300 plus 19,000. So what it is coming? 1,15,300. So see, here it is coming 1,15,300. So this is the amount. Here this is both the side it is tallied. So here this transaction gets over. Clear? Now we will move on to the next transaction, that is transaction number 19, and that is your last transaction for this sum. So see what they have given: advertisement expense paid in advance for rupees 2,000. So here what is there? See, advertisement expense paid, you have paid this advertisement in advance. Clear? Paid is there, it means cash is going, so cash account will be credited here. Okay, and advertisement is paid in advance, so it will become prepaid. Clear? This is you are paying in advance, so this will become prepaid. So see now what will be the journal entry? The journal entry will be like this, that is cash is going, so cash account will be credited and the advertisement expense will be debited, that is prepaid expense account debited to cash account. Here 2,000 and 2,000. What will be effect? So see, as we are assuming that it is prepaid
that is we have paid in advance, so we will assume that we are taking it back. When you are assuming and you are taking it back, what you will think? That it will be your asset. So here the asset will increase. See here it was what? Pre-received interest. You have received in advance for the next year, so you will assume that you are giving back right now in this particular year, so liability will increase. And here you have paid in advance, so paid in advance, it means you will assume that you will take it back for this particular year, but though actually you are not taking or giving. So here you will just assume it. So here you are assuming you are taking it back, so it will be asset, and cash is paid, so cash will be decrease. So here how it will be coming? Cash is previously 61,500, you will deduct prepaid advertisement, so 59,500. Then bank as it is, stock write down as it is, outstanding commission you will write down as it is, furniture as it is, and prepaid advertisement expense is that is 2,000. So that you will write down here. Clear? Now here capital is as it is, we will write down because there is no effect in capital account, 96,300. Here also outstanding rent, there is no effect, that is 1,500. Then Preksha furniture mart also there is no effect, that is 15,000. Here it is your creditor. And then pre-received interest, that is 2,500. So see here it is as it is same, so we'll do the same total, that is 19,000 is here. So here you are getting 19,000. Here also nothing is coming, so 96,300. And see what will be total here, that we will calculate, that is 59,500 we are having, plus 11,300 plus 25,000 plus 2,500 plus 15,000 plus that is 2,000. Clear? So what it is, that is 1,15,300. So see again, when you do the total of this, that is 96,300 plus 19,000. So what you are getting? 1,15,300. So here is equals to, and here plus sign, so addition of capital and liability, again it is coming same. So here the concept, that is asset is equals to, that is A is equals to C plus L, that is asset is equals to capital plus liability. So here both the side is coming correct. So here the balance sheet get tallies according to this method. So here the sum gets over. I hope all these entries are clear with you, and you have to remember this concept that your asset should be equal to capital plus liability in this particular chapter. Clear? Still, if you have any query, then please do ask.